welcome to episode 194 of the Baseball Brew Crew Podcast. We are keeping baseball history alive, one craft beer at a time. Wherever you are watching or listening to us, please give us a like and a follow. And if you love beer with your baseball, please tell a friend. Let's do it. Here is a lineup card for tonight. Hitting first is the newest acquisition and the first international signing of the Baseball Brew Crew. It is the big hurt, Allan Jepsen. Did you get hit with a pitch this weekend?
I did. I'm pretty sure I lead the league in hit by pitch through 4 games.
I hope you can make the all-star team for this.
There's only 7 teams, so probably not.
Okay. Wow. I would say that you now have a bounty on you.
It's starting to seem that way, and we have this weekend off, but then we have 2 in a weekend coming up, and I'm like, I feel like I'm gonna get hit a few times again. It's just, I just wanted to hit my elbow guard once. It hasn't yet.
All right.
So.
Maybe the bounty has to do with the mysterious footage that got lost last week.
Well, it does help your OPS, so you're all good. You're good in my book.
How about his on-base percentage? Does that help that too?
That would be the OPS.
What is OPS? I know on-base percentage. What does OPS stand for? Sounds like some disease I would have had in the 1750s. Gosh.
I think it's cumulative for everything, right? It's,
all right, same.
Yes.
Same.
Hitting second is the field correspondent and senior research analyst for the Baseball Brew Crew. It is Kevin Lyon. How are you tonight, sir?
I was doing wonderful. So you have to just you're just slowly digging my grave by saying every time you say senior, I feel like a little bit more dirt is being just scooped up for my impending doom. But that's okay, because you know what? I'm happy. I'm coming off a great week last week. For people who are teachers, they'll Teacher Appreciation Week. And hey, I got something to open here. One of my families gave me 2 of these little teeny mates things. Have you guys even seen these things before? I don't even know what's
in a while.
They're little like figurines. I got 2 packs. Let's see if I get something decent out of this. Now there's like a rare Otani I can get. Where the heck do you open these? Kids proof? Apparently they are. Or they're Kevin proof. So I get for doing this live. Oh,
you got to start working out with the heavier weights.
Exactly. Let's see what I got here. What are these things? Oh, I got a St. Louis Cardinal here, number 46. God, I'm 46. Blind.
Kurt Flood?
Yes, it's Kurt Flood. It's absolutely not Kurt Flood. Like, these are so small. Like, can you even read the name on that? Maybe you can bear the name.
Yes, hold it there for a second. I can see it.
That's your team, Michael Mondragon.
Oh my gosh, what is that? What is that?
See?
Oh my God.
I'm 700 years old, and I don't know what that is.
Good Lord.
So it comes with like a puzzle piece. What else is in here? It's like the old Donruss packs, Michael Mondragon.
All right.
Ooh, this one's sealed. Ooh, what is this? It is a twin, but look, this one's in a. I don't know if that make this mean it's rarer.
Look how small they are.
Yeah, look how small these guys are. It's a number 2 on the Twins. Is that correct?
Number 2 on the Twins.
Look at that. You can't even read these, can you?
Oh, what? That's not the Twins. Is that Ramirez?
It's a Twins hat. It's a Twins helmet.
Twins hat, but it says does it say Ramirez?
No, it's way shorter than that. Number 2, Perez or something like that. I can't read it.
How old are they? Yeah, I was just gonna say the same thing.
Is it Luis Arez? Was he a twin?
Yes.
I don't think it is. Okay.
Yes, he was.
I don't know. This was just given to me last week, so who knows? Because mystery is that Cardinal, and God, it says it's Series X. You know, it's not Series 10. You have to go X.
46 is coming guys. Up as Goldschmidt.
Well, that's definitely not 46.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah,
that's definitely not Paul.
Oh, it does say Goldschmidt, doesn't it? Does it?
What?
It does.
That's definitely not Paul Goldschmidt, is it?
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like more like Contreras.
I got a Juan Soto in this one as a Padre.
Okay,
there you go.
That's okay.
That's nice. That's pretty good.
So these are at least a couple of years old.
Okay.
When was he on the Padres?
A couple years ago.
God, really? God, doesn't seem like 2 figures, 2 balls piece, and a collector sheet. I don't care about that. And the one that's sealed is a Detroit Tiger. And the difference is the one that sealed had a little bit of like gold, gold cleats. So I don't know if you guys ever seen these things before. This is a Detroit Tiger. I'm hoping it's like Miguel Cabrera or something. It is number 20. I can't read the name, of course, but that's number 20.
My goodness, look how small that is.
How small that is.
Is it? Is it Torkelson?
Might be.
Anyways, that was a gift given to me, a very unique gift given to me by a family. And my beer is actually going to be from a family as well.
Perfect.
Happy Teacher Appreciation Week to all you teachers out there.
It appears that it's Torkelson.
Okay. Yeah, that's the only thing. I can barely see it, but
I know.
Yeah, they're not for old men.
I'm really like this. I'm like, I can't see it. I can see Juan Soto.
Yes,
those are little fun things, little fun little knickknacks. You know, I remember I gave Cowboy Jack's son the basketball version of that. I think he got LeBron. Was it LeBron? You got?
Yeah, I think it was LeBron.
Well, batting in the third hole is the Goodwill Ambassador and the Sultan of Swig at the Baseball Brew Crew. It is Cowboy Jack Durango. Do you have another promo for us?
I do, guys. This might be my greatest, most ambitious venture yet. I've often complained about the rampant corruption and cronyism in the MLB, and I decided to stop complaining and use my incredible online brand and marketing presence to be the force for change. So I'm proud to present to you the World Baseball Federation. It's a no-holds-barred baseball league to give fans an alternative and then eventually become direct competitor to the MLB and finally buy my competition. We are in talks with some major stars right now, like, hold on to your butts, guys, John Rocker and Anthony Rendon. And there are rumors that the Brothers of Destruction, Jose Canseco and Michael Mondragon, both might come out of retirement. Rumors. The World Baseball Federation, the WBF, is going to take professional baseball to the world stage with a team roster from around the globe. And right here, live tonight, it is my great pleasure to introduce the first two teams in the WBF, the Screamin' O's from Climax, Michigan, and the Bangkok Banana Hammocks. Allan, how excited are you for the WBF, and how badly do you want some merch from the Screamin' O's or the Banana Hammocks?
Yeah, those are something.
Say word.
The Word Baseball Federation.
Word.
Listen, guys, we're hot to market with these things. Details might get overlooked, but I really think you're not focusing on the grandeur that this idea is. I mean, I've got a team I've got talent scouts. I've got lawyers. I can't see everything before it goes to print. You know what I mean? This is DIY, punk rock, no holds barred, hardcore, extreme baseball.
Well, Jack,
Cowboy Jack, there was already a World Baseball Federation, so we had to go with World Baseball Federation.
Kevin, sit back.
Let him hear it. Yes.
Jack, because I'm in your league or a prospect in your league, I'm going to help you with your marketing here. The reason why there's no L in this World Baseball Federation, because nobody loses.
Oh,
There are no L's, except for the two at the end of baseball.
yeah.
So
I like
there you go. I helped you out there, Jack. High five, virtual high five. But this is looking exciting. Now, may I ask your creative person why the hammocks is dripping?
It's the climate in Bangkok it's very humid. So you're going to be sweaty when you're out laying on a hammock in beautiful Bangkok, enjoying a banana. But that's that people go there for that. I mean, that's what Bangkok's known for, is banana hammocks. So, and of course it's humid, and so you're sweaty.
Well, I love this, and I cannot wait to be drafted by one of these great teams. Or do we have more coming in the future?
Well, the league is going to get made up of the way we figured it. We've got an exciting schedule. About 526 teams. Right. Then we're going to break those down into sectionals, then regionals.
Got it.
And the entire year is going to be one tournament to get to the top. I mean, we're looking at pay-per-view options. In talks with some major networks, UPN, G4 Oxygen Network. So, one of the ESPN, one of the ESPNs, like 326, ESPN 326. So really, really exciting stuff in the Word to Baseball Federation.
Nice. Very nice. I'm looking forward to this very much. Love to hear more about this later. So let's get to it. Yes, my name is Michael Mondragon, your humble host for the festivities tonight. Kevin was showing a gift. My son, I saw my son over the weekend, and he gave me this gift. So Kevin, whenever we go to the baseball reliquary, one of their gimmicks is that they have the cowbells, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
So my son literally got me a cowbell, and it says "Ring for beer."
Yes.
And then look at the handle on that.
Oh my gosh.
Good Lord. I'm gonna get evicted from my apartment here. This is a bad boy. Yes, I.
Are you gonna take that to games in the future with you?
Why not? That would be amazing, right?
I mean,
This thing. Well, it's funny too. Oh my God, this thing is nuts. And kudos to my son for knowing me and who I am. But look at that, the hammer axe.
That looks really well built.
It's sturdy. Let's just say that.
Wow.
So we actually got little ones and we're just like, ding, 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 ding. This one's gonna blow them out of the room. Oh my God, I can't wait to bring it. Good stuff, good stuff. Well, we always bring a new and unique craft beer to review and enjoy. So what craft beer are you drinking tonight? We're gonna start with Kevin. Kevin, what are you drinking?
So for Teacher Appreciation Week, my family was nice enough to give me a 4-pack of this beautiful looking beer here, Neon Bloom. It's a West Coast Pale Ale by Peer Project out of beautiful San Diego, California, coming in at 5.3. So I have 2 here, so that will be gone. And I probably will just be like, hey guys. But you know what? Who cares? Because it's a really nice, refreshing beer. It's a new West Coast Pale Ale that lights up the palate with bold flavors, brewed with all hand-selected hops, Mosaic from Tributary Hop Farms in Washington, and Citra from Westwood Farms in Oregon. It flourishes with aromas of sticky resin. Wait a minute. Resin's what you put on your baseball here. And juicy honeydew. I don't think we're putting honeydew on your baseball. That's a new little tap. We'll see. A crisp, light body carries electrifying taste of bitter orange, lemon zest, and pineapple, followed by a clean, dry finish. And this is a really, really nice pale ale. Cheers, guys.
Nice. Where is Pure Project from?
Beautiful San Diego, California, sir.
Oh, there's so many. I mean, we were just talking about this weekend about all the San Diego breweries. Like, there are so many down there we don't even know about anymore. There was already a ton of them already.
Pure is one of the bigger ones in San Diego, and you could find their stuff pretty easily here in Orange County if you know where to look.
Okay, very cool. No, I look forward to having this one. Thank you so much for that. And gifted, one of my favorite F words, free.
Yes.
So, Kevin, this is the beer that I was going to give you.
Oh,
and I didn't get to give you.
We forgot on Saturday.
We totally spaced it, and I didn't give one. Yes, exactly. So, yes, this is the Don't F It Up.
Well, your other favorite F words.
That's right. Well, I'm not going to F it up. This is a golden ale by Arizona Wilderness Brewing, 5.5 ABV, 15 IBU. There's one big rule you should follow when enjoying our public lands. Leave no trace, or as we prefer to say it, don't F it up. So this is floral and dry with fresh honey aromatics with the addition of Rango honey. It's complex yet crushable. It's fantastic. And I'm going to rub it in your face, Kevin. I'm sorry that I'm going to drink all 4 of these. Sorry about that. I'll get you some more. I definitely will get you some more. It's I was surprised to find it and did not get to give this to you. But Kevin,
yes,
we did do some hopping around this weekend.
We did.
That's right. So, guys, I was actually in Orange County for an event, and I had this was on Saturday, and so Saturday night I decided to go to the Angels game, and I'm walking into the Angels game, and who do I see in front of me wearing a Cole Calhoun shirt? And I said, "Hey, that's a cool shirt, dude." And this guy turned around. Wait, I'm sorry. Wait, wait, something's up. Kevin, do you want to explain yourself?
I'm representing my favorite Angel. Because what do you want me to do? I'm not the person going to wear Dodgers merchandise into an Angels game? No, you just be respectful.
Or you could just wear a T-shirt. Like, you don't have to walk in looking like a mark, dude. You already sold your soul. Put on a great T-shirt, pal.
Yeah, I know. And well,
That
you know
looks like
what?
that looks like a fresh shirt too.
Hey.
You just bought that.
No, I bought that like 10 years ago. And I'm going to go into a dumpster fire that is Angel Stadium. Why am I going to wear a fresh shirt? The hat, though, is fresh. That's a fresh hat. That is a hat by Green Cheek Beer, one of the best breweries around, period.
Yeah.
And they made an Angels themed cap with their mascot on. But Michael, hey, on the way out, some guy, I heard, go Calhoun! And, Cowboy Durango. Where did Cole Calhoun go to college?
Arizona State University, Daddy.
That's
There you
right.
go.
And where is he from, Michael Mondragon?
Buckeye, Arizona. There you go. So I actually before we go on, I wanted to make mention of Allan's hat. Yes, Allan, your hat. So that's what you do, Kevin. We need to get you one of these hats, like a personalized hat for yourself for Cole Calhoun and the Angels. So yeah, so you don't have to wear any more Angels gear.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is actually my men's league team's hat. So
I say it's your hat. I
Okay.
say it's for you.
take it.
The Jepsen. The J is for Jepsen.
Yes.
the J is for jerks.
Is it really?
We're the jerks.
No wonder they're throwing them at you every game, dude.
The funny story is that a couple seasons ago, we were in the league, and the league had a weird rule about you had to be some sort of former team. So the team was previously the Jerks for many years, and we had to switch to the Phillies. The first game we played in our provincials, and we were like, okay, well, for the provincials, we're going to be the Jerks. So funny enough, it was my first time playing for the Jerks because I had only played for the Phillies before that. And during that playoff game is where I got into some fisticuffs and suspended for 6 games. So
That's a bounty on you.
it might be. I mean, it was a guy from a different league and stuff like that. But yeah, that was my introduction to this team called the Jerks.
We might have to do a deep dive on this league.
Brother, I got a contract waiting for you in the WBF, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to get a team in the British Columbia team. He'll be on it for sure.
Or you could play for this team in this park. Yeah, so we actually watched.
Yeah, but this is the equivalent of high school ball. You don't want to do this.
Well, we watched 2 fifth-place teams battle it out, one from the west, one from the east, and we got to see Jackson Holiday.
Jackson.
Yes, and so yeah, Kevin and I we made it there and hung out in the rafters like we always do, and it was a good time hanging out. The Angels won, Cowboy Jack, 5-2. While we you can see from the seats back there are a lot of people dressed up as empty seats. But it was,
They were hanging from the rafters.
Did you guys do the abdominal stretch?
Oh, we totally forgot. We should make that definitely a tradition, no matter what.
Every game I've gone to with you guys, you've done that.
We were so.
It shocked me at first.
I'm about to give Michael the shocker by my weird looking "I love you" sign there.
Yes, we have many traditions. None of them legal. But
Traditions for other people.
they're all traditions.
For us, they are.
Well, guys, it's time for.
Let's start right out. Hey, what happened?
That's right. Hey, what happened? We actually had an identity that we did not have for last week. We ran a little long. But we wanted to get this one in here because there was a lot to talk about. So here it is. This is the Morehead City Marlins, the 2-time Coastal Plain League champions. They have a new alternate identity. They're from Morehead City, North Carolina. And this one is special. That's right. Hold on to your booty. The Morehead City Marlins are diving headfirst into a wild rebrand as the Crystal Coast Booty Divers. And yes, it's as legendary as it sounds. For one glorious weekend starting June 20th, we're trading in tradition for treasure maps, diving masks, and straight-up swagger inspired by Blackbeard's lost loot off the shores of the Carteret County. We're tipping our caps and maybe our Jolly Rogers to the magic of the Crystal Coast. Now, Okay. I love the whole thing, but are we believing that this is all pirate inspired?
No.
I mean, look where those hands are.
Yes.
Those hands are in the sweet spot.
He's going for it, dude. Again, Kevin is a teacher from Teacher Appreciation Week, so
Yes, sir.
the sweet spot.
Excuse me, that's what they actually call that on the baseball.
That's it. That is the
That was-
sweet spot. You're
That's
right.
why that's why I said that joke. He's still a novice at baseball. It's okay.
That's right. And you were talking about the shocker earlier. This is getting in that territory.
Uh-oh.
Yes. So, Allan, you pointed this out to me first and saw this. What are your thoughts of this initially?
They're gonna sell a lot of merch to, at the very least, college kids.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes. I go down, make booty diving great again. they are going for it. And we were talking about it off the show, but at the time that they started this, which was like a couple days after, they were like in 40 some odd states. And I told you that I actually saw a thing that they sold this merchandise to all 50 states, which is a huge accomplishment.
Not the 51st though.
Not the 51st. What, Puerto Rico?
Sure.
Are you in on this one? What's your thoughts?
I don't know. Maybe the booty shorts, but that might be about it.
And this is like a collegiate league, am I correct?
Yeah.
Right.
This is like the one the bananas the Savannah Bananas originally came from, I believe.
Yeah. So thank you for helping me into this. So let me tell you a little bit about the original Coastal Plain League competed from 1937 to 1941. And then, like most other baseball's other minor leagues, suspended operations due to World War II. It would later return in 1946 and continue to operate through 1952. During that time, the CPL was a Class D league that featured teams in Ayden, Edenton, Fayetteville, Goldsboro, Greenville, Kingston, New Bern, Roanoke Rapids, Rocky Mount. Stop me when you've heard of any of these cities.
Well, Jack's writing these all down for the Ward Baseball League.
Snow Hill, Tarboro, Williamston, and Wilson. Many big names have come through the ballparks and that are still in the Coastal Plain League, including Babe Ruth, Ted Williams, and Cal Ripken Sr. So now, okay, so we were talking about this. We're talking about the Savannah Bananas. Were they a part of this league? Does anybody know for sure?
I have to look it up. It sounds familiar because that's what the Bananas originally was in a league that sounds like this. I got to make sure I have the name of the right league. I will look it up while you talk about that.
Right. So my first exposure to them, I remember that the Savannah was it was an independent team, but their big rival at the time was the Macon Bacon, which are in this league. And the other ones are the East Division is the Peninsula Pilots. There's the Wilmington Sharks, the Wilson Tobes, the Morehead City Marlins, as we talked about before, the Tri-City Chili Peppers, the Holly Springs Salamanders, and the Greenville Yard Gnomes. Then the West Division is the Martinsville Mustangs, the Forest City Owls, the Florence Flamingos, the Ashboro Zookeepers, the Lexington County Blowfish, the Boone Bigfoots, the Macon Bacon, as I mentioned before, and the HP Thomasville High Toms. Now, Jack, are you taking a lot of inspiration from these?
I am. I dig it. It's good inspiration. Good inspiration for the fledgling league. The Boone Bigfoots rule.
Yeah, that's
Forest City Owls is a cool logo too. I really dig that one.
There you go. I think you need to talk to some of their branding people to get some of the logos and for you in your league.
Yeah.
So Michael Mondragon, the Savannah Bananas played in the Coastal Plain League from 2016 to 2022, winning 3 PETIT Cup championships.
There you go. And then they eventually went rogue and it became the big stars that we know them.
We never heard from them again.
Yeah. They died on the vine. What exactly happened to them?
And they're going to be rebranded as what was that team again? Cowboy Jack Durango?
Banana hammocks.
Bangkok?
The Bangkok Banana Hammocks.
Gotcha.
Yes. So this is the Coastal Plain League, and they have a very rich history. So the new and revived Coastal Plain League is a collegiate summer league featuring top-notch college players from across the nation. The CPL returned in 1997 to fill a void in summer baseball. While there's many summer leagues in operation at the time, there really wasn't one located in the southeastern United States. So the other ones, now, Allan, you were talking about another one that was located out there. What was that one? That was? Do you remember which one that one's?
I cannot recall. I know out west here we have the West Coast League as a summer league, which has the Bellingham Bells, and obviously there's Cape Cod.
Cape Cod, right?
And then I think there is another one out that way, but I cannot recall.
What's the one with the disco turkeys?
But there is a weird one in Southern California, and there's also the Alaskan. The midnight game is like summer college players as well.
Right, Jack. What was your question?
This is like outlaw mud show baseball. These are these are all like deep hillbillies, right?
I think that that college kids go and play in front of set hillbillies.
Right. So it's hillbilly ball,
pretty much. The Southern Collegiate Baseball League is the one where the disco turkeys play out of.
Right.
So
right. Okay. And I know there's some other teams in there that we've seen before too, but the disco turkeys.
Chicago Dogs, I think, is one of them in there.
Right. Right.
Yeah, there's some really cool ones. Probably my favorite team in this league currently is going to be the Tri-City Chili Peppers, though.
Oh, okay. Why is that?
Because they have started their own kind of spinoff like Banana Ball, but they do like a neon night ball.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so they play under like black lights, and the ball is obviously neon. Jerseys are neon, bats are neon, gloves, everything is neon. It's fantastic. So it's high on my list of things that I need to see in the future.
Yeah, those games look super interesting.
Yeah, I mean, they're smart about it. They at least put the pitchers behind an L screen.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're playing essentially in the dark.
Of course, right.
They like, at least they're being smart about safety with college. So
yeah, that comes to now that I think about it, the foul balls could be an issue too.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not sure what parts lit up, but like I think they did like 3 games last year out of their park, sold them all out. And then I think they're taking the show on the road a little bit this year. I think they just played out of the Durham Bulls Park recently.
Oh, wow.
So I'm curious to how they do it on the road. Like, do they just replace all the bulbs with black lights? Or like, I'd be very curious to look into that a little deeper.
Totally. So it says they have a 48-game schedule running from late May to early August, annual Pro Scout Day and an All-Star game, and a championship playoff system. The Coastal Plain League prides itself on returning players to their respective schools as better, well-rounded individuals. Some of the people that are in this, AL MVP and Cy Young winner and 2017 World Series champion Justin Verlander, Ryan Zimmerman, Mark Reynolds, who is known for his all-time strikeouts for a season. So that Mark Reynolds is a Major League Baseball player, but yes, also has a dubious record. Kevin Youkilis, the Greek god of walks, Alec Boehm.
Hey! You can't just walk over Kevin Youkilis. Isn't he on the ball for the Diamond Icon, sir?
Yes, a Diamond Icon nominee.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Nicky Lopez, Jake Cave, and how about this? NFL Super Bowl champion quarterback Russell Wilson. So there you go. So all played in the Coastal Plain League. I wanted to definitely give that a little bit more. We would have gone way over time had we talked about that last week. So guys, just sit back for a second because I'm going to give you a little background. So the South Africa Baseball Union is the national governing body of baseball in South Africa. Baseball is played in all provinces, but it is not a major sport, especially due to the popularity and relative success of the comparable sport of cricket, which in South Africa is one of the leading countries playing the sport. The union is a member of the World Baseball Softball Confederation, the WBSC, and the International Baseball Federation, the IBAF. It is also an affiliate of the South African Sports Confederation and Olympic Committee, which alongs sport and recreation in South Africa supervises all organized sports in South Africa. It controls South African national baseball team, which has participated in several world major events, such as the Summer Olympics, the World Baseball Classic, the Baseball World Cup, and the African Games. Some of the most notable people that have come out of that union is Anthony Phillips, who never made it to the major leagues, but is actually a coach now in the minor leagues, and Dylan Unsworth, and also the first African player in the major leagues. His name is Gift Ngope. In 2017, he became the first South African and the first native continental African to reach the major leagues when he played in the major leagues for the Pittsburgh Pirates and later for the Toronto Blue Jays. Now, I got to see Gift play, so it was like, I don't think a lot of people knew his significance in baseball. Well, why am I bringing up South Africa? Well, I'm trying to tie this in because the South Africa Baseball Union, the acronym is Sabu. So because we're all here because of our ties to professional wrestling, I thought this would be a great way to close out the show, because I'm sure we can do 20 minutes at the minimum about our influences of Sabu in our professional wrestling careers. And somehow I had to tie it to baseball. So that was an obvious way of doing it. So yes, unfortunately, Sabu, a genocidal, homicidal, suicidal, one of the hardcore legends, Sabu. I'm going to start with Allan. Allan, what is your memories of Sabu, and was he influential in anything you did in professional wrestling?
Not so much influential in anything I did in professional wrestling, but he was part of, the weekly long pro wrestling shows that I would watch. He was the Friday night on, I think it was TNT or something. I can't remember what network it was, but it was right after Roller Derby. So yeah, I got my fix of Sabu on Friday nights on ECW.
Oh, right on. Okay.
I believe that was TNN. It was called that in the United States, TNN, which later became Spike TV. I didn't realize that was
Spike TV. That's the one.
Yeah. It was
TNN
the
became
National
Spike
Network.
TV later.
It was
originally, though, that was the Nashville Network, Michael Mondragon.
Yeah, that's right. And so that's right. It's turned into Spike. Cowboy Jack, what was your remembrances of Sabu?
Yeah, he was a revolutionary, gifted, insane human being. Like, being a young, impressionable youth and seeing videos of this guy just mutilate himself, and it was mind-blowing. I mean, to go from like remembering WCW to then seeing that, he was a total game changer. He's been, people have been ripping him off for years, dude. There was a dude that would dress exactly like him, work exactly like him. He had a different name, but that was his gimmick, was he just acted like Sabu, and he worked in Utah all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but yeah, dude, revolutionary, man, but led a hard life, very publicly and openly a hard life, and seemed like he was living the dream. So, good on him. Rest in power, dude. Sabu the Elephant Boy.
Yes. And he was the nephew of the original Sheik. So Kevin, we've actually had face-to-faces with Sabu in our wrestling career. I've also literally shared the ring with Sabu. I can say that. And it was probably one of the most frightening moments of my career. And Kevin doesn't remember this because Kevin was knocked out earlier in the show.
Excuse me. Well, hey, can I say that yesterday a certain dragon texted me to talk about Sabu, and I'm like, this dragon guy I know, he doesn't care anything about wrestling anymore. But let me tell you right now, when this little guy, 13 years old. Now imagine being 13 years old and you see Sabu in 1994. All right? If you're a kid, you're like, oh yeah, Ultimate Warrior and all this stuff. You see Sabu and you're like, holy bleep, it's next level. And that was same for me for being 5 years older than him. I was a member of the Sabu fan club, Michael Mondragon.
Wow.
For $10, I sent in a thing and I got an autograph photo and a piece of a broken table from a match.
Wow.
and because I was in my friends and I, we tape collection. We were getting ECW tapes and just watching in 1994 was just mind blowing to the point where me and two friends actually drove 6 hours to see Sabu in his first match ever on the West Coast. That's how far of a mark I was for Sabu back in 1994.
So he was wrestling. It was like a ladder match, like him and Chris Candido. Am I right?
It was terrible. The match was pretty freaking bad. They only brought one ladder and the ladder broke.
Yeah, of course.
He literally had to climb the top rope to try to jump off and get the belt. And he would literally stand the ladder up and try to just climb it before it fell over. I don't know where the referee was who could have helped him with this, but and literally he did a moonsault to the floor and he was kind of missing him and you hear him go, whoops, because he just went way over Chris Candido. I'm just cracking up. But yeah, so Sabu was definitely a big influence on, a young me, a young dragon. And that show you're talking about, after that night where I got knocked out, who did Sabu end up wrestling that night?
So that night he wrestled Super Dragon, and it was Excalibur and Disco Machine who were seconding Super Dragon to the ring. And there was a spot in at the end. Sabu won that match.
Yes, Sabu won the match.
So he did win that match. Yeah. And I remember they did a thing. It was kind of controversial or whatever the finish was. But the thing was that they were gonna Sabu came, and even Sabu, there was no established like a heel face. It was just kind of like a weird to see two kind of heelish guys.
Here's the thing, Michael. Sabu was supposed to wrestle Devon Storm / Crowbar,
that's right,
but his flight didn't get there in time.
Right.
This is the famous, or for you, infamous Messiah Benefit show.
That's right. Okay.
And then Dragonfield in last second.
So how I at the end, we as all three of us, like Sabu came and he was going to shake Super Dragon's hand after the match, saying, "Hey, good match" or whatever. But this is in the ring is like. And Super Dragon went in for the handshake and slapped Sabu in the face. Now,
I just saw the clip. The first thing he does that, and then he flips. He gives the bird to Sabu.
Yes,
I only know because someone shared it on Instagram, and I'm like, I don't remember that, obviously, because I was KO'd.
Now, now the funny part of this is Excalibur and myself. We don't know that Super Dragon is going to slap him in the face. So we are standing there. And we think that he is going to go crazy on all three of us. So I dive out the ring. Excalibur jumps out of the ring. Excalibur jumped out of the ring so fast, he literally jumped out of his shoe. He left a shoe in the ring. And so we booked it back. And it was one of those nights. It was just a really surreal night. Later on, Sabu actually, we after a show, Sabu came back to my house, and we all the wrestlers came back, including Sabu and a guy who's no longer around either, Steve Rosano. But we actually sat around and watched wrestling videos until like 4 a.m. So not only was Sabu like a colleague. We actually have a complicated history as well. There was
Michael. You just said you were terrified of that moment. I think you have an even more terrifying moment, right? With Sabu.
Believe it or not, I do. So you were talking about the Messiah Benefit show.
Yes, sir.
And at the Messiah Benefit show, they were recording, they recorded a America's Most Wanted. So if I ever did three lies and a truth, I could say that I was on America's Most Wanted, and it would be true because I was interviewed at the wrestling show for this benefit. Okay,
may I please say I do the same thing, and everyone would think it's the truth, but it's actually a lie. I've not been on America's Most Wanted.
They would think that you were, but you weren't. Exactly. But I actually was. As later, this would have been a few months later. The fact I was a part of that show was not taken well in the wrestling community. The person who did not like it was New Jack and Sabu. So we were at a taping. It was actually a television taping for this independent promotion called Epic. And Epic, it was in this TV studio. So before the show, someone comes up to me as I get there and I'm setting up whatever I have to set up and everything, or get all my stuff in there. And someone pops in and goes, "Oh, New Jack wants to talk to you." So me being naive, not knowing anything, I go, "Oh, okay. Let me get my stuff and I'll just hop on down there." So I go down and New Jack, he goes, "Sit over here." And he was talking to Sabu, and Sabu got up and he goes, "Whatever he says, I say the same thing." And I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting there and New Jack proceeds to say that if I were to go in any locker room anywhere in the country, that I would not be welcome because of my participation in that. He thought back then that I had given up kayfabe to about wrestling. Meanwhile, in the back of my head, I had remembered, I go, wasn't he in Beyond the Mat? But he's literally reading me the riot act saying, like, I do this as a profession and a career, and you're making a joke out of it. You're giving away the business, all this other stuff. And I just said, okay, thank you, whatever. Later.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to say? He'll stab you.
Well, exactly. And especially Sabu saying the same thing. And I was like, oh boy, I pissed off the two most scary guys in wrestling. And later on in that show, so I wrestled the first match against Tony Kozina. I had a great match, loved it. I was feeling good about myself. Later on, New Jack does his segment. Who is New Jack calling for a match with, or to come out to the ring and face him? One Disco Machine. That was not planned. And I was standing back there with Messiah, and I said, "Is he calling me out there?" And he goes, "Don't worry about it. He's just crazy or whatever." And I was like, I think, am I safe here?
Oh, he would have cut you up. He was going to carve you up like a turkey.
Yeah.
And at that time, that was his gimmick. He would just come out of the crowd and just beat the crap out of people. And like he did it with Hardcore Kid. He did it with a couple other people. I can't remember who he did that night. But that's what's his gimmick. Just come out and just cut someone up. And
that's all he did in that Epic group. And hey, ironically enough, the last Epic show, that was the last Epic show, I believe, of that period.
It was, well, we had the show that we were in the parking lot that didn't happen. But yeah, that was technically the last show that happened, sir. Right.
Like
no, I know. For logistics, we had another show planned, but it didn't happen. But yeah. So, and then I wrestled on one of the last XPW shows, and I saw Sabu.
I'm sure Sabu completely remembered you.
He did. Sure. He did. He actually. And there's another funny story which I'll keep to myself, but it's yes, he was a very interesting character, very complex, and the fact that we actually had access to him, and he also during that TV taping came up to us asking for cigarettes. And he was all, we said, "We don't smoke." And he goes, "How can you smoke and not be a wrestler?"
I was saying cigarettes are like, he went to one of my friends, like literally like
this close to it. You want to get some smokes?
It's like, every time I see that wrestler, I always go up to, like, stand right in front of him asking that question to this day.
Yeah. But the reason I say that because I was in wrestling with him, but I actually traveled in 1996 to go see him in Las Vegas. He had wrestled Cactus Jack. It was
I saw him at the 1994 version of that match. Yeah,
right. So Cactus Jack had just come back from the FMW tournament where his arm was all all burned.
Oh, the IWA Deathmatch tournament. Wow.
Yes. So and he wrestled right after that. And then also I saw him at another. We saw him somewhere else as well. But I mean, the fact that we got to see him in action and all these other things.
We saw Sabu in 2020. Michael Mondragon.
That's right. That's right. It's I mean, he was a very colorful. I actually went to the ECW arena as well in '96.
Cool.
Yeah, I saw him there in Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania. I saw him. It was him and Rob Van Dam versus Dr. Death, Steve Williams, and Terry Gordy.
What?
Yeah,
what?
That's who he wrestled. Yeah, that's when Terry Gordy was back from Japan, but he I think he had
a lot. He had a lot going on.
So yeah,
he had his demons, brother.
The demons got him. Unfortunately,
yeah, and he was and I was listening to some interviews recently, and he was like, as far as indie stars go, like he changed like wrestling, like when it came all that stuff. He was like a big indie star when there was no wrestling indie stars.
Yeah.
Like he was a huge draw. Like I drove 5 hours from Phoenix to see him in Vegas. I just read about him in the magazines.
Yeah,
and I had
that Vegas group, he was the star of that Vegas group.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like they brought him in once and he got over. And just because if you've never, this is before any kind of hardcore wrestling, really. And then you see this guy and you're just blown away by it because it's just something so new and unique. And this before his body started breaking down and just, he was by 2000 almost, he was already like kind of done. But 93 to about 98, 99, most of the time he was just spot on.
Yeah. Rest in power to Sabu. We have a complicated history, but I only actually have great thoughts about him. And I remember the last time I saw him in XPW, he was legitimately, we had our backstage was actually another basketball arena. And I remember walking in and I saw Sabu. He was just laying on the ground, which he was actually prone to do. His back was so bad. He would just lay on the ground and just kind of like, it looked like he was really in pain. But he was just kind of stretching out his back. And I was like, I went up to him. I said, like, are you okay, man? He goes, oh, it's just my back and everything. He was actually really cool once you got to know him and got his trust. But yeah, like he was like one of the last like legit scary guys that like in wrestling, like still up to his last match, which was just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. A couple of our friends saw it. He just had a retirement match 2 weeks ago as part of WrestleMania weekend in Las Vegas against Bad Boy Joey Janela. And, I didn't get a chance to see it, but I'm like, why is this guy still going? But you know what? I'm like, he's one of those guys who probably wants to just go out. That's probably how he wants to go out, unfortunately.
Yeah. And I was just telling my mom about it because my mom doesn't know wrestling or anything like that. She was asking me, she's watching Nacho Libre and she's like, didn't you wrestle like El Snowflake in that? And I was like, that movie was like a long time ago and she was asking about that. I said, oh yeah. But I was telling her about like Sabu who had just died and, he was only 60, but what he was doing to kind of, he was wrestling, but he was also, I'm sure like he was doing things to keep his body going. And it's like, his body was probably like 150 with all the punishment that he did.
Every match he was in the equivalent of a 45-mile-an-hour car crash. Like he destroyed his body, man. And hey, he had his retirement match and then he died. He went out like a worker.
Yep. Yeah. He's
that means he was 30 already when he first got known and started doing all this crazy stuff. It's not like he started that at 18 like a lot of younger guys now. You know what I mean? It's like, God, you're already 30 when you start doing all this revolutionary stuff. Like he probably already went through a lot of abuse just doing normal wrestling back then,
Oh, the stories about his uncle breaking him in Japan they're hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Like he almost legit died in that fire match.
His uncle almost died for sure in that.
But he was in that match too.
Yes, he was. Yeah, he was his partner.
And
he probably tried to protect his uncle. You know what I mean? Because his uncle was obviously a father figure to him, brought him into wrestling, and literally like tried to be like his uncle. That's like would never talk, would never. He kept completely kayfabe all the time. Until like recent years.
Yeah, he was. It was weird that like we. Allan, like for instance, like how did you guys handle like kayfabe? Like I know that there was a sense of like people knew about how wrestling kind of was worked and everything, but how did you handle it? Because he is still from the old school, learning from the old school guys, and still he had that kind of scariness to him that you can't manufacture with like even kayfabe.
Yeah, in my first initial indie run, I had a mask, so everything was separate. It was separate life. It was easy to keep kayfabe. I was taught by a bunch of older school guys, and then when I came back and went to 321 in Seattle, it was kind of cool indie wrestling. So kayfabe was kind of out the window at that point. It was 2018 or something like that, and at that point, it was all gone. So, the original run, no problem. I had people didn't know my identity when they met me years later. So it was great. I enjoyed that much better than when people could find me on social media and send me messages without knowing me. So yeah, it was a different time.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Jack?
I raised to respect kayfabe, my man.
Oh yeah.
Respect the Kize Fize, brother.
Well, you were definitely in a different wrestling environment than the rest of us were.
Yeah,
you're doing like tours with like old school, like legit old school guys like Honky, Tonk Man, and I'm sure there's other legends you were hanging around with back
Yeah,
then.
no, and I wouldn't have had it any other way, man. Taught by the currently competing on the Legends Never Die tour, the Navajo Warrior. I think this is his last big run, and you respected kayfabe and CC Star, dude. He's Abe, dude. Rizdiz, Piz, Norders, like it was a hoot, dude.
That's so funny. I'm so glad you brought up CC Star because he was like legitimately one of the first people that I met in that was a professional wrestler. And I will not tell you on this podcast where I met him, where he was working. But let's say he was a security guard. I'll just say that he was a security guard for a certain establishment. Okay. But yeah, he treated me like it's so funny. Like he showed me his check from his wrestling. It was like for $100. It's weird that he showed it to me. But
did you see if the check bounced? You should have dropped that check if it bounced.
I would have had I know what I know now about wrestling, but he had a big bandage on because he just had a match like recently and stuff like that. So he was playing it up. He's so
see, dude, he showed you that check because to him, that was a huge payday, dude. He was like, there was nothing that he loved more than being a professional wrestler.
Nope.
Come on, $100 in like 1996 is like $250 now, probably. Come on.
Yes, and he also had his hair cut by Brutus the Barber Beefcake in a TV match as well. So yeah, I mean those are like the fun stories. It's from like indie wrestling and just all that stuff. And we got in too deep. Again, really I have New Jack.
I'm like, whoa, we went deep. I'm like, we're done with Sabu. I'm like, 25 minutes later, here we are, just talking shop, so to speak. You know?
Yeah. No, I wouldn't trade it for anything. But at the time, I was just like, what have I got myself into?
Yeah, no kidding.
It's not a bad segue to our guest next week.
Oh, so tell us more about that, Allan.
Next week we're chatting with indie wrestler Tony Deppen, who is also a brewery owner and a Pirates fan.
Ooh,
yeah,
I've seen him wearing Mets gear before, so I thought he was a Mets fan.
I'm pretty sure we'll get into all of that.
All right, good. So I saw the gold and I'm like, wait a minute. But you're from Pennsylvania, all right.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk to him because I guess seeing he's Pirates, I guess he lives between Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. So hey, let's stay tuned and find out Tony Deppen's baseball fandom.
Yeah, and we'll definitely talk about his craft beer relationships and how because Bryce Remsburg was talking about him and they got him into craft brewing. And
they made a beer for him at Tony's brewery, so we definitely got to talk about that next week. Absolutely.
So I wonder if the Baseball Brew Crew could get a beer made. That would be fun. That would be fun.
Worth a shot.
We're going to shoot our shot. This is where you can catch us on all the socials. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. Guys, what are we doing this week? Are we going to any baseball games? What are we doing?
Yeah, I'm actually going to a Canadians game Thursday night with Daniel Makabe.
Nice.
And schedules might line up. We might see Durangelo, the switch pitcher.
Oh,
wow.
Fingers crossed. He's Wednesday or Thursday, so we're hoping it's Thursday. And
so he is starting.
Yeah.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So hopefully it's Thursday, not Wednesday. But based on how their weekend lined up, it should be about 5 days from when he last pitched. So hopefully he doesn't get called up to Modesto before that.
No, because Modesto's low A. Your league now is the high A, so he'd be promoted to double A.
So the Arkansas, right?
That's why I'm bitter with your league because you sold.
Get over it.
Well, and also like Vancouver has like a 19-year-old. I think he's an outfielder potentially, but they were hyping him up on when I was on the MLB network. I was seeing like a game, and there's a 19-year-old that's playing for them right now. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I haven't checked too much into the Canadians roster this year because it seems like there's going to be a lot up down based on the pro team. But they're doing okay. A little late for me to finally get to a game, but I'm excited. So.
Oh, great. Cowboy Jack, what are you up to?
I'm going to be working the office and the phones hard on the WBF, signing new teams, signing new talent. So stay tuned.
Very nice. Kevin, what are you up to?
I don't think any baseball this week. It's gonna be a rock and roll week tomorrow. I mentioned earlier, a fellow Sabu fan. He and I are gonna see a future rock and roll Hall of Famer, Michael Mondragon, where the Jack White is gonna be a rock and roll Hall of Famer this year. The White Sox are going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Not going to happen, but I'm going to be seeing him Tuesday night in LA. Have a rocking something good time. And otherwise, maybe I'll get some baseball in. Maybe I'll go. Maybe to cleanse my soul, I need to go to Chavez Ravine and see the Warriors.
There you go. There you go. I have no idea what I'm doing this week. I am just catching up from last week.
we did a bunch, and we could have done more, but it's all right. We have the future to do that.
We'll figure it out for sure. So for Allan Jepsen, for Cowboy Jack, for Kevin Lyon, I'm Michael Mondragon. We'll see you next week with another Baseball Brew Crew podcast. Thanks for joining, everyone.
With Tony Deppen.